On this episode, we smoke the Perdomo 30th Anniversary Sungrown Robusto 5x54. This Nicaraguan puro celebrates Perdomo's 30th anniversary, and we enjoy some Cooper's Cask coffee, single-malt whiskey barrel, and talk about cigar cars. I'm your host, Johnny Midas, and you're listening to Burnline Podcast. Burnline Podcast. The burn line on a well-crafted cigar is straight and sharp as a razor, much like our wit and wisdom. And what's up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages over the age of 21, you are listening to Burnline Podcast, coming to you, as always, not live from the Hot Box, the smoky back room where deals are struck and fortunes are made, adjacent to the Blanco Cigar Lounge, nestled among the complex of rooms that comprise Union Cigar, Hanover, Pennsylvania, USA. I'm your host, Johnny Midas.
And I'm Angel El Fumo Solario.
What's up, El Fumo?
Not much. Just feel a lot better knowing that I only spent $6,500 and not $2,500 yesterday. So that's a relief. So not digging into the cigar budget.
Right. Yeah. El Fumo had a little timing issue with this. So that's the straight six, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the 4200 Vortec or whatever. That was a good motor, though.
It's actually a pretty decent motor.
Yeah.
Surprising. Good job, GM. You nailed one.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a few. The 8.1, the 4200 Vortec, the 5.3, not the early years, but those are all good motors.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks LS
Yeah.
when they think GM. But
And I also have a 5.7 Vortec.
That one had a little more issues. The 3800 that they put in the Buick, that V6, that was fucking bulletproof, man.
Yeah, and then they later put that in the Impala.
Yeah.
I had the 3400 version of that a decade ago.
All right, well, we are smoking the Perdomo 30th Anniversary Sungrown, and we are on video now.
Yeah.
So we got our first video out on YouTube last week. It was all right. There was some trouble syncing the audio. I've got to ironically YouTube that.
How do I make my YouTube video better on YouTube?
Yeah. Well, I recorded in 4K, and it took, 3 hours to upload, and then an hour to process, and then it spit out this low-quality video with the audio out of sync. Thanks, fucking Google. So as soon as they bought YouTube, everything went to shit.
Yeah, more ways than one.
Anyway, it's probably my lack of skill, but I'm gonna blame YouTube. Anyway, so this is the cigar, and it's really handsome.
Yeah.
So it's got the holographic gold on the band. We'll just hold it up here a little bit for folks to see.
Most of their bands look the same, but
yeah,
they're always freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, I really like the way that Perdomo pays attention to the artwork. We talk about that a lot, despite the fact that they're hardcore committed to making affordable cigars that people can actually buy and smoke all the time. They still put effort into how it looks. And this one is gorgeous. It's red and gold with the Tabacalera Perdomo logo in the middle. It's beautiful. And then what's super cool is this band is one piece. It's got a little tab back here.
Yep.
Right? So it looks like a double band, but it's one piece, and you can just take it off, and I've never had any over glue or anything like that because it's big enough.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to over glue it.
Yeah, his
right?
quality control is pretty insane.
Yeah, I think so. I've always been impressed with Perdomo's quality control, and part of that's they're vertically integrated, so they have eyes on everything. But like draw consistency, every part of the cigar.
They're the only cigar maker that actually draw test every cigar.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a little fact.
I know a lot of guys, a lot of producers draw test a sample, right? So statistical modeling, you select your sample size, one every 300 cigars, whatever it is. That's interesting.
Nope, they do every single one before it gets in the box.
Well, I appreciate it because I can't remember the last time I had a bad draw on a Perdomo.
No, never.
So,
that's exactly why.
It must be
like
working.
I said, it's impressive how how almost streamlined everything is, and how perfected it is, and how affordable these cigars are.
Speaking of affordable, so this is the Robusto. It is a 5x54 soft box press, which Perdomo's famous for, that soft box press. It is a Nicaraguan puro, aged up to 15 years, the tobacco in the cigar. And a single stick will set you back between $12 and $14, depending on where you get it. These were not distributed to everybody.
Right.
You're probably going to be getting them online. There's one or two shops local that have some. I think the cheapest I've seen is $12 online.
Yeah, I think a lot of it will also be resale in like the next 2 months.
Yeah, definitely. In the next couple of months, you're going to have folks selling these that bought them from somebody else in box quantities, and then you'll probably see the price jump into the $15 to $17 range,
easily,
something like that. I bought a box of these, and I have been thoroughly enjoying them. So I'm prepared, to give it a rating.
All right.
Is this your first one?
Yeah, I get to come into this with virgin lips.
Awesome. Awesome. So they do come cello wrapped. I usually take my cello off before the show because it is annoying to get off, while we're recording. But it has got a QR code on the back of it, right? As well as a barcode for the retailer. Yay! Well done, Perdomo. So why don't you grab that QR code and let's see where it goes.
All right. So let's do this here thing.
Then we can get these clipped and lit and smoked.
Look at that beautiful mobile integration on their behalf. Look at that.
Yeah.
Scroll.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Mobile optimized.
Yeah, mobile optimized scrolling. That is insane. The close-up shots of the band.
Yep. So it's as easy as grab that QR code. Now, we talked about this on the show a couple times about, this is the new world of cigars. Not everybody is a 65 anymore, that's getting into cigars. So, it comes up just like that. And it's all about the 30th anniversary.
Dude, this is the best, or I don't even know how to describe it. Just the way they talk about the cigar and they talk about the tobaccos and then what to expect.
Yep.
Look at that. This is the first time me visiting the Perdomo website in months, and this is
nailed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it, I think. Yeah.
I'll even tell you how to pair it. Holy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is next level cigar industry.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. I remember when I think actually Francisco was probably the first on the jump to put QR codes.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. I think it is time for us to get these lit. If you want to pull that out of the wrapper, and you got to get it cut and lit so that we can actually enjoy it. I'm going to use my double guillotine close-ended Drew Estate, and you are using what?
The bench.
Craftsman's Bench open-ended double guillotine.
That's
okay.
Right.
And the official cutting is brought to you by Fat Boy Cigars. The bold and delicious flavors of premium hand-selected tobacco leaves are highlighted in the original Jacked cigar from Fat Boy Cigars. And don't forget to try the Fat Boy Cigars Boots on the Ground series. For every cigar you purchase in this series, Fat Boy Cigars will donate $1 to a charity benefiting our frontline heroes, Fat Boy Cigars. Welcome to the Fat Boys world. All right, let's go ahead and give this a official cut. As usual, we remind you to clip your cigar with authority. No limp-wristed cutting allowed. Now we're going to tap that out. There we go.
Good old hand job.
Got to get the hand job.
So one thing I noticed right off the bat was this. A little bit of pectin right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I did that. I was like, I didn't put my lips on this yet, but it's okay. It's just something I noticed right off the bat.
We got some fruit pectin
sort
of coming out from under the cap.
No big deal. Yeah. just
Yep.
stood out.
Now, if these are in bad shape, that is because I humidified them improperly.
Okay.
Now, I don't think I did. I think they're correct. I just wanted to make it clear. I got a box of these, opened the box, I put them in my tri-level humidor. Oh, I got a new humidor.
Nice.
Or, not a new one, an extra one, because I ran out of space in my other
Gotcha.
one. So that humidor is new. It's only about a month old, and it's had humidifiers sitting in it for 6 weeks to season it. And then I put these, so it's possible the humidor still sucked some humidity out of these. It does have a digital hygrometer, so
Gotcha.
I think I kind of trust that, you know.
I would. So one thing I want to point out on the foot, there's a lot of space in between that tobacco.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yep.
So now I'm curious to see how that's gonna.
Let's do a cold draw.
Yeah.
Ready?
Let's try it out. Yeah. Comes through right quick.
Not for me, man. I almost have more back pressure than I usually like. Actually feels a little tight for me. So I'm getting cinnamon raisin on the cold draw for sure, with a little bit of like almonds.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
A little chocolatey.
Yeah.
Definitely the almond.
Well, why don't we get these lit? I think I'm going to light up with my official Johnny Midas gold bar.
Yeah. My official single rocket engine from Rural King Blue Torch.
Yeah, Rural
brand.
King Special.
That's right.
You got all $4.99's worth on that.
That's right.
And I need to turn this down a little bit. The only drawback with this one is you need like a little screwdriver to turn it down. But we're just toasting the cigar, as always, toasted, not roasted. We're just trying to heat this up, not light it on fire. You'll notice I'm not pulling the flame into the cigar with my mouth.
No.
You need a backup plan? Yeah, so
Probably.
yeah, that's why I got my whole
All right. Let's go with the paleo. There we go. Another rocket engine.
I'm just blowing this foot, making sure the tobacco's combusted without and you just gave up and you're just roasting yours. Okay.
Yeah, I epically failed. I don't know what's going on this morning.
Angel is demonstrating the incorrect way to
What not to do. I'm just, that's what we do here. Teach. So on today's lesson, that's not how you do it.
Actually, if we're being honest, we've all done that.
Yeah.
At some point. Because at some point, you just want to fucking smoke the cigar, you know?
Yeah.
Not to be...
I'm over here epically still failing.
yeah, like, not to be rude or something, but... I try to set up everything for success, but there are days when I'm like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, this is not working.
Sometimes a good old table flip or just...
I've done propane torch. Like
yeah.
Full-size propane torch.
Yes, I have. Yep.
Done that. I've used a Zippo, for all of our... It'll taste like shit. You know what tastes worse than a cigar lit by a Zippo?
What's that?
No cigar.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, we've got this lit up and going.
Yep.
What are your initial thoughts about this?
Give me another minute because I obliterated the beginning. By the way, that's what happens when you roast the fuck out of your... You get nothing but ash.
Yep, that's fair. So I'll go ahead and go. Definitely got that Nicaraguan spice on there. So very interesting. It tastes. man, I don't even know how to say it. I almost went to say smooth, but I fucking hate that word with cigars because they always use that. You know how? Do you know how a Krispy Kreme donut feels in your mouth?
Yeah.
Where like it just everything goes together and kind of melts together.
All right, a fresh one right off the belt, or
Yes.
one at the gas station?
Not a get no. That
Because
is
I've had both.
no. Fresh off the belt from the actual Krispy Kreme.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. So there's definitely the spice and the oak, like you said, that little bit of cocoa.
Yeah, I got on the Retro Hill, I got some spice, some cocoa, little almondy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the almond component is definitely there. And then I have got a little cinnamon raisin component on there.
Cinnamon went away for me.
Okay. So my spices I would describe as cinnamon, allspice, and kind of like if you took allspice and cinnamon and cloves, and then you took a pinch of cayenne and you threw it across the top and just a few flakes sprinkled in.
Okay.
That's kind of how it tastes. And actually, there's a little sugar. Like actual white sugar.
Maybe just a little hint of that.
Just on the on the front tip of your tongue, on either side of the very tip.
By the way, they weren't lying on that one picture. You saw how they had the flame steak.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of that.
A little bit of what?
A little flame broil there.
Oh, flame broil. Interesting.
Try it on the Retro Hill. Right in the middle, almost towards the out. Right before it comes out.
I'm not sure I'm getting it.
Not like a super flame broiled steak, but just...
Maybe it's just because of the way that you lit your cigar.
Yeah, maybe. I did it.
I will be on the lookout for that.
Little steak and leather. But my draw tightened up a bit. It's a little bit different than my cold draw now. So
mine is right on.
Yeah.
And I will say this, Perdomo is so consistent that I know if I put this into either one of my close-ended cutters, my Perdomo cutter, I should have used that one, or my Drew Estate cutter.
That's why I didn't grab it. I was going to let you.
Yeah.
Like, it's right there. Hey.
Fully branded, # not sponsored.
Right. Ooh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I just know I will get exactly the draw strength I like.
Yeah.
So...
Well, we're on the subject real quick. How do you feel about cold draws? I don't do it that often.
Yeah, I don't do it that often. I mean, it's nice for me to get like a different flavor set. Mm-hmm. It's so, first of all, if you say anything other than raisins, you're probably lying. Like the number one taste for cold tobacco is like dried fruit.
Okay.
Anything else is like extra on top of that. And it doesn't have anything to do with how it tastes when it's burning. So, to me, it's like it's an extra experience, but it's like licking the outside of the banana. It's an extra experience, but it's not necessary.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I've cold drawn a cigarette, and there's a starch difference between this and a cigarette. You got to remember, this is an organic raised.
This is just a dried leaf.
Yeah, this is organic. This is, yeah. Not thousands of chemicals.
Yeah. All right, so we're getting a burn on that. We got some initial tasting, and we'll let it burn a little bit before we, kind of revisit it. Again, this is the Perdomo 30th Anniversary Sungrown Robusto 5x54 soft box press, which, you say Robusto, and it doesn't seem like, it seems like a small cigar, but this is a lot of tobacco,
Yeah.
I don't know. My default has always been a Corona, and they're harder and harder to find. Robusto is kind of my new Corona because you can still get a lot of Robustos.
I think everybody's getting away from the smaller just because I think everybody wants more tobacco.
Yeah, I heard that, the Corona was the size that the blenders used in the old days to, gauge their blend.
Yep.
And they're doing it with Toros now because Toros sell so much in the U.S.
Yeah.
And so...
We just like everything big in the U.S.
Apparently.
Not just Texas.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know. There's something to be said. It's like, dessert. Mm-hmm. Are you going to have like a slice of cake, or are you going to have a quarter of a cake?
Right.
You know, that's a slice too. Well, I think it's more enjoyable sometimes in smaller amounts. And
Okay.
I'm definitely that way with
Yeah.
cigars because, you know, if I'm smoking a Corona and I want to keep smoking, I can light up another one. But if I'm halfway through a Toro and I'm done, it's just done. I'm not going to, I might relight it to mow the lawn or something, but, you know, a relit cigar is not the same.
I'd imagine, too, that Coronas are a little bit more time-consuming, too, than probably this to make.
I don't know.
I'm just thinking because it's smaller. You know, you kind of have to, hey, it's smaller, but don't make it too tight. Because obviously going smaller, you're going to make it tight.
Might be a more skill involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be. So you got me this CAO off the shelf. This is a 3x3. Appreciate that. And this is available here at Union Cigar Hanover.
Absolutely.
$9.25.
Oh yeah, that is a great price for that stick. They also come, I think, in a bigger box press. I don't remember, or unless that's the. But that is a lot of tobacco for the price.
And this says
by 54, right? Something by 54.
Yeah, 6x54 Toro on the back. I can't quite read it. It does have a barcode for the retailer, which is awesome, and it has a QR code.
Yep, everybody's doing it.
Yeah. So tell me about this cigar, CAO 3x3.
So it's a Brazilian, a little bit different than the Brazilian box press. I'm gonna have to look it up, but I liked it, dude. It is like very chocolatey for a Brazilian tobacco.
Okay. So is it Matafina or what?
I'm gonna have to look it up.
What region? So 3x3, I guess. Does that mean that it's a Brazilian puro? Like 3x3 means
Brazilian tobacco leaf.
Wrapper binder filler.
I believe it's all Brazilian puro. I'm being an idiot here. Whoop. Yeah, binder is Brazilian, filler Brazilian. Filler is Brazilian, Honduran, Mexican, Nicaraguan.
Okay.
Yep. But
so where does the 3x3 name come
or
from? Or
BX by 3.
What?
So Brazilian times 3.
Oh, BX3. It looks like 3X3. So this is a CAO BX3.
Yep. Triple the exotic Brazilian tobacco. So some experiences. So Brazilian tobaccos from our we had some experience utilizing Brazilian tobaccos from our award-winning blends, CAO Brasilia and Amazon Basin. So I guess they use a little bit of each. Started with an oily Brazilian Mata Fina, Mata Fina wrapper.
It looks like it.
Smooth, slightly sweet, yet earthly Brazilian oh man, I can't even say that. Araparaca? Araparaca. I'm guessing that's Portuguese.
Yeah, that's a different region, and it's a sweeter, lighter tobacco than Matafina.
And then some Honduran and Mexican premium filler tobacco. So I'm guessing like they probably use some San Andreas clearly, and I'm not sure which Honduran leaf they would have used.
Well, man, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I can't wait to burn that one down.
Yeah, I was just surprised that you haven't had that, so I was like, gotta get it for him.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. My experience with CAO is incredibly limited. I think the last time I smoked one was like...
Was it the Basin? The old Basin?
No, I had a Brazilian, but it was like in July or something.
Okay.
I mean, I like them. You know, I just don't... I don't know. I haven't smoked a lot of them.
Yeah, no bias, but before that one, the Zócalo was my favorite cigar.
Oh, yeah?
Of the CAO, which is that Mexican.
Yeah.
That San Andreas that they perfected.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I am getting some of the new Amazon Basin in.
Yeah.
And we'll smoke those on the show. So be on the lookout for that, all you guys out there in YouTube land. And we're drinking this single malt whiskey barrel coffee. This is from Cooper's Cask Coffee up in Rhode Island. We had some of this a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Not sponsored, but good coffee.
Yeah. We had the barrel rum.
Mm-hmm. The rum barrel and, rum and cigars.
That was a really awesome freaking coffee.
Yeah. What do you think about this one?
It's pretty good. I think I like the rum barrel a little bit more.
Yeah, not sure what the difference is in the beans. I know that this is a medium dark roast Sumatra coffee.
The whiskey isn't as pronounced in this as the rum was in the other one.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't have baseline to compare. Mm-hmm. You know, if I just had their roasted Sumatra to compare, I could probably tell. But the other one was borderline infused tasting.
Yeah.
And this one's not.
I would imagine they probably dialed down the whiskey when they were testing it out because, you know, whiskey's a lot stronger.
Yeah.
And more bitter than
rum. Is like sweet.
Yeah, sweet and smooth naturally. Yeah. So that's my guess.
But it's a great coffee. We're both drinking it black, is that?
Yeah, we're drinking it black. Yeah. You know, once you go black, you don't go back. Mm-hmm.
So presentation on this cigar, I didn't bring the box in, partly because I've got all this shit all over the table anyway, and, you know, there wouldn't really be space for it. But it's a traditional Perdomo box. So if you've seen one Perdomo box, you've seen them all, and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything special with it other than the 30th anniversary branding. The band on this is super cool, and I love the fact that it looks like a double band, but it's a single. And I'm going to go ahead and take this off on the show, and it just comes right off. It's big enough, and the overlap is so huge.
Such a beautiful wrapper, man.
That there's no glue coming off it.
Yeah.
And you can just take that off, and no problems, doesn't affect the wrapper. Now, here's what's interesting. Every single one of these that I've smoked has this color-changing wrapper where it's lighter on one end than on the other. Mm-hmm. So it looks, you know, like the ghost of a barber pole, almost, which is really interesting. I guess that has to do with, you know, how it's aged in the pilon. Now, I've been down there to Nicaragua, to the Perdomo plant, and they have these giant like hamster wheels.
Yeah.
So the pilon used to literally be like a pile of leaves composted.
Yeah.
Now they're like on this giant hamster wheel.
Dude, just their process alone is incredible. Like they're just so different from everybody else, and
well, they have temperature sensors in the leaves, and it automatically rotates.
Yep.
This hamster wheel, and the wheels like the leaves like all flop over.
Yep.
To cool down, and then they can start fermenting again.
Yeah, where most other companies, you have to do it by hand. Yeah. It's, 3 layers, right, of pilon? Yeah. And then, they just stack it on. And
yeah, it's really, really cool, automated.
So if, for the listeners / watchers now, if you go to Perdomo on YouTube, he has a series of videos of just their process. Yeah. From beginning to end. It's freaking awesome.
It is cool. If you want a little cigar education.
Yeah. And then they have that 100-year-old tobacco seed separator, which is, again, another amazing thing. Like everybody else does the scientific method, and they're using this very old school method of separating tobacco seeds. And it's like, hey, man, you're doing it. Keep doing it. And it's working.
It is working.
Yeah, sound like a fanboy right now, but Perdomo is one of my favorite budget cigars. Like I said, the fact that most of their cigars are still under $11.
Yeah.
And the process that goes into making these is insane.
Yeah, the quality and consistency. If they're not your thing, they're not your thing.
Right.
But you can't beat the quality and consistency for the price point.
No.
So this is a Nicaraguan puro, and the tobaccos in here are aged up to 15 years, so they've been planting this for a while.
Yeah.
And let's see how we're doing on time. Checking out my Rolex Oyster Perpetual. Okay, it looks like we're about 20 minutes in.
Can you eat it?
I can't eat it. I would love to. It looks good enough to eat.
It looks like nice.
I think we should mention the socials. So, of course, we are online at Burnline Podcast.
And
what are you doing?
So, like on the exhale, if you smell the smoke, that I see where they're getting the steak from. So try to
choke like you did.
I was trying to figure out what that smell is. But you see,
it's there. It does. It smells like a. It smells like a grill steak.
Yeah.
You
So
know, like one of those Blackstone griddles.
Yeah.
You throw like a fatty steak on there.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
So that's where that steak comes from. And this is probably, finger quotes here, the stinkiest cigar we've had so far. But again, still not offensive. At least it'll turn some heads.
I mean, come on. Like that is so like relative. You know, like I'll bet my wife would find it offensive.
Yeah. It is relative.
Like all of them.
Right.
like every cigar.
Yeah, it's relative, but it's like, you know, if I'm going somewhere, I do plan ahead on that aspect. Like, depends where I'm going.
Am I going to undress in the garage?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. At Burnline Podcast, and you can email us, burnlinepodcast@gmail.com, with your questions, comments, complaints, concerns, anything you want us to smoke on the show. Please reach out. We want this to be your show. We really do want this to be a different kind of cigar podcast, and you guys help us do that. So thanks for everybody that has reached out. I don't have anything new on the socials.
We got something weird going on with Facebook. They're like restricting our comments, our shares, and our messaging. So I'm trying to figure that out. I've reached out to support, and they have not answered me back.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if we're being censored. I mean, there's plenty of 21 and over and tobacco pages and alcohol pages, so I'm not sure what the situation is there. So I'm figuring it out. We are getting views on the metric, though. So we're getting over 20 to 30 views per post.
Okay.
Just no interactions, which that's when somebody had actually reached out to me that was trying to interact on my personal Facebook saying, hey, something's going on here. So we're trying to figure it out. So stand by on that.
And Instagram's going well. I'm getting some interaction there. Also, I noticed on Insta, Fat Boy Cigars, they have the 30th Anniversary Connecticut in stock.
Nice.
So if you're looking for those, swing on by. Be sure to check out the Fat Boy Cigars. You know, for me, the Jacked is amazing, and I like the Jacked too. All of the, Thin Line series, Boots on the Ground series is good. We've smoked 2 of them on the show.
Yep.
The Red Line and the White Line. Both great cigars and super fucking affordable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So jump on there, fatboycigars.com, and also check out this 30th anniversary. Now, we're smoking the Sungrown.
Yep.
And like every Perdomo product, for the most part, you can have it in 3 wrappers.
Yep.
Maduro, Sungrown, or Connecticut.
But wait, they're all sun-grown.
But they're all sun-grown. Tune into last week's episode as we
discussed.
Yeah.
Sun-grown and natural.
Yeah. Another cigar taxonomy thing.
But their sun-growns are really good. I've had 3 of their sun-growns, and they're all... I just enjoy almost everything on their line. Except, I'm going to have to knock this one. The champagne is my least favorite.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that at all. It is too bitter for me.
Yeah, it's like a traditional Connecticut to me.
Yeah.
Now, the Habano Connecticut, the way that they age their Connecticut, it is definitely stronger and less bitter than like normal Connecticut's.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. But Sungrown is my go-to wrapper for Perdomo, and that fits because, you know, my go-to wrapper for Fuente is a natural, and so on and so forth. Nothing against Maduro. There's plenty of Maduro cigars I enjoy, but really they're just not at the top of the list for me. Yeah. You know, after experimenting with my palate for
I can see why.
For 2 decades, I like the light floral, aromatic, sweet, Cuban-esque.
Their Maduro, I definitely would recommend it to a beginner smoker, only because it's not, gonna kick your ass.
Their Sungrown might.
Yeah, actually, their Sungrown might.
By the time you get to the end, Nicaraguan Sungrown, it's strong. And I would peg this as mid-full, probably.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So with that, I think it is time for our tobacconist tip of the week.
All right.
And now your tobacconist tip of the week with Angel Solorio.
Tobacconist tip of the week. Don't roast your cigar. And that was our segment. Back to you, John.
All right.
No, but tobacconist tip of the week. especially for those smoking on a budget and the starters. Everybody's like, "Oh, I have to get a humidor right off the bat if I'm
Yeah, I
going
got
to
to
get into
spend
this."
$1,000.
No, you do not.
Hobby, yeah.
So this right here is a Java by Drew Estate box, and
It comes pre-flavored.
It comes pre-flavored, but actually, so everybody's probably thinking, why would you use that box? Honestly, the box didn't really pick up on the flavor, and I just used it for some of my cigars. I use it as my back counter humidor, so as you can see, I have a couple cigars there and some Bovita packs just to keep some extra humidity in there.
So you can just take a cigar box with it's reasonably sized, throw some Bovita packs in there, instant humidor.
Right, and obviously this box doesn't have that great of a seal, but it also works. I mean, this is a humidity controlled room, so it wasn't terrible. But there are other boxes that have better seals. But I mean, if you hear that,
it's decent.
You got some seal to it.
And I think the call out I would make is that is a wooden box.
Yeah, it's a wooden. Definitely go wooden. Do not go cardboard. Box. Yeah. And then so you can do that as a starter because you're probably gonna have this fits 10 sticks of varying sizes. So my largest stick being the Nica.
That's a decent size.
Yeah.
What is that? A 7x54?
Yep, 7x54, 7.5x54. So and then
I'm getting pretty good at that.
Yeah, some house blends. This is one of my favorite house blends by APS.
That's a good 58 or 60.
Yeah, and it's a triple barber pole.
Nice.
So yeah, you can fit various sizes in there, and then once you're ready to jump up to the next size, usually when you buy from Thompson or CI, they'll be like, "Hey, free 20, an actual humidor."
Yeah, small
for free.
20 count. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when it comes to traveling, I just upgraded to a 10, and this is $15-20 on Amazon, so you can go that route as well. Right off the bat, use this as a humidor instead.
And what do you if you're on Amazon, do you look up Herfador or what are you searching for?
Cigar Herf.
Cigar Herf, yeah.
You can, as you can see,
Yep.
the tabla's in there. I have a cutter in there,
one.
some matches, some other cigars. That 30th you gave me. And I got 3 layers of cigars in here. And I threw a humidity pack in the middle just to keep some humidity, and then added some water to the
built-in humidifier.
Yep.
And
So,
what does that run? Something like that.
like I said, this setup's $20, and it comes with plenty of starter accessories. I wouldn't use them.
Yeah.
But it comes with a single blade guillotine, and actually pretty nice, cheap stainless steel cigar holder.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so it and a cheapy torch.
Okay. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
And then I imagine if you're just getting the Herf, you can get it for a few bucks less than that.
No, it just comes like that. But I mean, $20.
Yeah.
You can't really scoff at that. And so not only do you have a traveling humidor, but now you have a desktop humidor all in one for not breaking the bank. Then my other advice is, like, we have, I'm sure not everybody has it, but we have a Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
They have their brand that's like a knockoff of Pelican, and it's called Apache. And it's like $10 for double the size of this. You could probably, I think one of our customers has like 20 or 30 cigars in it.
There you go.
Same deal. It has the air dial in the front, and then it's sealed. And then just throw some Bovita packs, and there you go. Same deal. You don't have to break the bank to start smoking or to store your cigars in,
Well, when I started out, I got a box of Perdomos, and that was my daily smoke. And then I would pick up the occasional nice cigar, from time to time. And then I just saved the box, and that was my humidor. And then I just kept doing that. And so my first humidor was just a stack of like 7 cigar boxes with cigars in it. And then I had a friend who owned a cigar shop, and he had this old humidor, and it's like a 300 count.
Yeah.
And it had a analog hydrometer in the hygrometer. Hydrometer is density. Hygrometer is humidity. And it was stuck to the inside of the lid with like a magnet. And every time I close the lid, it like falls off onto the cigars or whatever. So I just took it out.
That's what I did with mine.
Yeah.
Once I was able to, I think it's 12 years old now, but I bought, when I went to a trip to CI, I bought a one of the $100 Man of War humidor, and it's a 100 count. So I still have that today, and then like 2 other humidors, 20 count and a 50 count. So,
well, point is he sold it to me
yeah.
for like $50 because he got a upgrade, right?
Yeah.
So, also, if you're just getting into the hobby, check out Facebook Marketplace, talk to your friends. You can always get a used humidor. And what I loved about this one was I didn't have to season it or anything.
Right.
Like, he was using it, swapped his cigars over to his new $750 humidor.
Right.
Sold it to me for $50, and I was off the ground running. So
Yeah. And honestly, going used on a humidor, there's nothing bad with that.
No.
Like you said, seasoning's already done for you.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to start off.
So look at the burn line on this. Pretty good. Stacking dimes with the ash. The ash looks really good, both from the front and side.
Yeah.
So burning pretty well. I don't have any issues with the wrapper. You can see where the cap is cut right there. I'm a little concerned that'll turn into a flap that I'm tonguing.
Okay.
So far, no issues.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with mine either. Still going pretty strong.
So, touching back on this cigar, there's still a lot of sweetness in there that is surprising.
The almond has picked up for me.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of cedar board.
Yeah, dead nuts, man. Like, there's some cedar in there now.
Yep.
I didn't taste that in the first
Nope.
inch, but there's some cedar on there for sure now.
Touch of earth. Very small touch of earth.
Yeah, like on the back center of the tongue. Yeah. Just a little bit of dirt there. Very interesting. Like, this is a strong enough cigar. Yeah, you can see that little flap starting to come up.
Yep, there it is.
This is a strong enough cigar to keep a cigar smoker, like
Yeah.
a veteran, interested.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's light enough and sweet enough that anybody could start out on it. But
Yeah.
I will tell you, from what I'm experiencing so far, once I get down to that last third, this is going to kick my ass.
So there's a difference between mine and your cigar, though. So yours has still kept the box press shape a little bit more than mine has.
Yep, yours is expanded more.
Yep.
Probably because you got all that heat into it.
Yeah. And I like the way your cigar looks more than mine. Like, it looks more of a cigar than mine does. Like the tobacco wrapper.
Yeah, I do have an impressive cigar. A lot of people compare theirs to mine and usually come up short. However, I really like the color change aspect of the wrapper. Like, it just highlights that this is a natural process and everything.
Absolutely.
Hey, Edwin.
Morning.
He is outside of video range. So, appreciate that tobacconist tip there, El Fumo. And so let's talk about cigar cars. So there was this meme going around about hot chicks drive cigarette cars. And for whatever reason, like, the whole meme devolved into a discussion over what the hell is a cigarette car.
Car, yeah.
And it's like a 94 Beretta, a 2001 Dodge Neon, stuff like that. And
Chevy Cavalier.
yeah, Chevy Cavalier.
Oh, that ugly plastic car.
the plastic trim falling off. Yeah. And it's true. There's definitely a high correlation between hot chicks and cigarette cars. But it got me thinking, what is a cigar car? So, there was this big discussion on, like, what's a cigarette car? And it's hard to explain, but you kind of know it when you see it.
Yeah.
So, but what about a cigar car?
What is a cigar car?
I mean, we could look out in the parking lot when the lounge is full, and there's your cigar cars because these people smoke. But that's not really fair. And I don't say that just because Jeremy's driving his Jaguar. But, when you think cigar car, I guess we got to say this is a car that people smoke cigars in.
Yep.
Right? It's not a car that a cigar smoker happens to drive. right? So what comes to mind? What do you think a cigar car?
So usually with cigar car, like you said, it usually something, mid economy to more higher end sports car, or just higher end sedan is what comes to mind for me, because usually that's what cigar smokers. But like any cigar smoker comes from any economic background, but mostly,
But
nicer
you do,
cars.
like you have this idea of a cigar smoker as somebody that likes nice things, but is also a little earthy and practical.
Yeah.
Like we are not like, French wine connoisseurs or something. A cigar is a little more, it's a little more butch.
Yeah.
So I think there's categories, but I will just start at the top. I think the top, like, cigar car is a mid-90s Jaguar XF.
Yeah.
The dual headlight one with the V12 engine and the long hood.
Yeah.
Like, that's the cigar where you expect some dude to step out smoking a cigar.
Yeah. Or
right?
a 92 Alfa Romeo. Yeah.
Jeremy on the mind.
Yeah.
On the mind today.
Yeah, I got to drive that for a month. That was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a 92 Alfa Romeo. That's a cigar car for sure.
That is a cigar car.
But also, so on the other end, because, we're just in a different era of cars.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, where like SUVs and pickup trucks are the new luxury car.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Which used to be the family economic car. Now
and now it's
it
fucking
costs half
expensive.
a house.
Yeah.
Asshole.
So I think back to, The Sopranos opening scene. There he is in his Suburban with his cigar.
Yeah.
And I think the Suburban, that's like my second cigar car.
Yeah, which is what I have.
Yeah, a Suburban.
That color too, which
Yeah.
is funny.
Yeah.
Man, those Suburbans are sexy even today.
Yeah, that was was that the GMT 800 platform? Mm-hmm. I think it was, yeah. Mm-hmm. That was one of the best trucks.
Oh, yeah. I love
ever
that.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have the 5.7 in it with the, let's get a little technical here, the L451 transmission, something like that.
Yep.
So, man, such a robust vehicle.
Yeah, man. Couldn't kill him.
No, you can't. And if you do.
Or a Tahoe.
Yeah. Oh, also interesting. The difference between my daily and that Suburban. Ashtrays in the Suburban, no ashtrays in mine.
Right.
What happened? Bring back the ashtray.
Yeah. I'm going to add a little more flame to my cigar here.
I don't do. So both my cars do have a cigarette lighter, which I don't recommend lighting a cigar with, but just something interesting.
Have you tried it?
No.
I've tried
it. I have before.
Have you?
It's a little hard.
It is very tough.
And you're roasting the shit out of your foot. But in a pinch, it works. Like, I know newer cars don't have cigarette lighters in them anymore.
Yeah, it's rare to find a 9-volt. Now, you still can, and one of the reasons for that is like your phone charger. Mm-hmm. You have so many different options now.
Yeah.
Right? So I was doing something for business or whatever, and, I use National, so you just have the row of the National Club or whatever, and you just pick any car in the row. And there wasn't a lot of options left, and I think I ended up with a Jetta.
Yeah.
And it had 2 USB-C plugins.
Yep.
Well, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like most phones made before, whenever I was renting this, made before like that year, used a USB-A plug-in. But it did have a 9-volt, and so you can buy the adapter, which they sell for like $40 at the rental counter or whatever, to plug in there, and you can plug your different
so my Suburban on the dash has 3. Has 2 12s, 1 9, and then my Trailblazer has 1 12, 1 9, which is pretty cool. Yeah, when I got the Sentra for work when I went to Kentucky, it was all US. I think maybe 1 12 volt, but it was like 4 USBs.
Yeah. So my 21-year-old, 22-year-old 4Runner, which by the way is doing fucking awesome in this snow that we've had this week, does not have any USB ports.
Right.
It has 2 9-volts.
Yep.
And so I've got an adapter plugged in.
Yeah.
It's a dual block, and one has a USB-C and one has a USB-A. and I'm using both of them. Right. So
make 9 volts great again.
Yeah, make 9 volts great again. So cigar cars, yeah, I'm thinking, third on my list is like a Ram 1500 4-door, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe some nice rims, but not city rims, but some nice rims. Or similar full-size pickup truck.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how things evolve, because when I was a kid, like, my idea of a luxury car was like a Cadillac Eldorado.
Oh.
And I mean, that was like the Men in Black car.
Yeah.
Like, you step out of that and, like, you need the Bad to the Bone soundtrack playing automatically, like when you open the door, But now that I'm a grown up, it's like, and I can afford a luxury car, like, I'm actually looking at pickup trucks.
Yeah.
Like, I have a robust lifestyle. I also need to throw lumber in the back and stuff.
Yeah.
But the interiors are so damn nice on these trucks anymore. And they've got the power and all of that.
Yeah.
So times have just changed.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I think 50s was peak utilitarian vehicle.
Yeah.
Because, some of those concepts did come to life in the 50s. But, like, just some of the crazy shit that the accessories your cars came with. Like, some of them came with those push-in, and then the lighter actually comes out, and then some other crazy stuff.
Meanwhile, you had, like, a metal dash and no airbags and, Well,
those were the times.
I think peak truck was the GMT 800. It was, like, the last analog truck they made. What concerns me is the integration of so many electronics in the modern cars.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to go bad before the car does.
Yeah.
But everything's controlled by them.
Like that issue I had.
Yeah. Well, so, BMW started this thing where you have to pay a subscription for heated seats.
That's
and
wild.
then people were like, you're fucking full of shit. And so then they're like, okay, we're not going to do that. I'm like, yeah, but you have the capability. That's what I don't like.
Yeah. Like, why would you do that? I'm buying a car. Give me all the,
And a lot of your newer cars, like, they have to have access to wireless, which is built in, so they can update over the air.
Yeah, like Tesla's is probably the biggest controversial vehicle, not the EV aspect, but just almost everything subscription based.
Well, they'll roll out an update. You don't have a choice.
All right.
They're like, you can do this now and you can't do that in your car now.
Yeah.
It's
yeah. Or if you piss off Tesla, which I've seen plenty of people on YouTube say,
they'll brick your car.
They'll brick your car, or they'll kick you off the supercharger, and you have to stick to slow charging.
Yeah.
Which is wild. I wouldn't.
I don't know. My concern is cars are so expensive. I don't want a car where, I should own this now.
Right.
Stop fucking with me. Yeah. Don't mess with my car.
Which is weird because it goes into that realm. Okay, yeah, you paid for the car, but technically you don't own it. So that doesn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Rise up, everybody. Just say no. Analog cars only.
I just read an article yesterday that Ford is rolling back production of the Lightning.
Yeah, they need the production space for cars that actually sell.
Yeah, like the Bronco and the Explorer.
Dude, the Maverick.
Yeah.
They're sold out for like 2 years. They just can't make those fast enough. Which, surprise, surprise, you're selling a car for Honda Civic money that has a pickup truck bed, and the hybrid makes like 35 miles a gallon.
Right, you're
going to sell every one of those.
Yeah, you're getting a truck with economy fuel.
Yeah, like people are cross-shopping this with a fucking Corolla.
Yeah.
So they should have planned better. I would have planned to make millions and millions of those every year.
Yeah. I think the problem with that, what happened was that the government was trying to force EVs, but it's like something like that needs to naturally happen and, naturally evolve.
And as usual, not getting into politics on Burn Line Podcast.
No, it's not well, it's politics, but it's like this is what happens when the government tries to take control over private.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, as a consumer, I don't care what somebody else says I should be doing. I want to make a choice that fits my lifestyle best. Right. And, that's the crux of the issue. It's like, at what point does somebody else get to say, no, you can't smoke a cigar.
Right.
No, you can't drive a pickup truck. No,
Right.
fill in the blank.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the worst things they did, which a lot of people don't realize this, but it actually made freight more expensive, was the I don't even know how to call it, but the legislation that they forced DEF on diesel vehicles, which made freight more expensive because now you have these diesel carriers that have to.
Well, that and the EDL requirements.
Yeah.
The whole eastbound and down cowboy thing. Like, you can't get rich trucking anymore.
No.
And that's why there's a shortage in drivers. And
Yeah.
that's why they're pumping millions of dollars into automatic, like robotic tractors. Is because the driver, like, they wouldn't be wasting that money if you had people being turned away because they wanted to be drivers.
Right.
And
now we have a CDL driver shortage.
Yeah.
So good job, government.
Yeah. But and on that note, I think it is time for our cigar news of the week. Angel Solorio, El Fumo, take it away.
And now your cigar news of the week with Angel Solorio.
All right, cigar news of the week, along with cigars are getting expensive.
Yeah, our cigar news of the week is you're going to pay more for your hobby this year than last year. Surprise.
Yep. So actually, we got quite a bit of news. We're starting off with Drew Estate is announcing their Barn Smoker Days, which, they roll out some new stuff on those Barn Smokers, and then they just did their live, the Freestyle Live, which last year they unveiled the Nica Rustica Adobo, which was a great cigar. I don't know if you smoked that at all.
I did, yeah. I had
Man,
that
it
one.
was great. And so I'm not sure what they're unveiling this time. And
there was a barn smoker in Carlisle?
Or Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Yeah. Which was pretty freaking cool.
Where they grow a lot of cigar tobacco.
Right.
Yeah.
They should have done it again this year.
So that was kind of local.
Yeah. I didn't go to it, but one of our guys did, and he had one hell of a time. Got a bunch of freebie stuff.
Nice.
So, and he had a blast. And then, so Florida is trying to ban smoking in state-owned areas like beaches and state parks, which, I mean, I kind of understand it, but it sucks for us that are responsible about it.
Yeah.
Most of it comes from cigarette smokers, unfortunately, and a cut on trying to get younger folks not to smoke, which is like, you're only going to make it worse.
Well, yeah, I mean, we know how that works from prohibition and stuff, but, I mean, I get it because, I went on a cruise with my wife a few years ago to the Bahamas, and we're out there, and, yeah, it's really touristy, but it's a beautiful beach, and there's chairs set up and, beers for sale, and we just want to relax and enjoy nature. And there's two fucking rednecks just chugging Camels, and you can smell that on the whole fucking, they call it a key. It's a small island. The whole island, and it ruined the experience.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to attack them, but it's like we all enjoy it. It's our vices, whatever. But unfortunately, cigarette smokers have ruined a lot for all the other smokers.
Yeah.
I mean, the ban also includes people vaping. I mean, whatever you think about vaping.
Vaping's not terribly offensive.
No,
I mean,
it's just when they get ridiculous with the clouds. But even then, that doesn't really happen as much. But like I said, unfortunately, it is coming from the cigarette smoker side.
Yeah. Typically.
And then Crown Heads is adding the Mil Diaz Maduro.
Very interesting. That's got my interest piqued. I like the Mil Diaz. I can't imagine what it's going to taste like with a Maduro wrapper, so I'm kind of interested in that.
Yeah, so they're getting Connecticut broadleaf over a Ecuadorian Habano instead. And they're coming from the Condega, Jalapa, and Ometepe regions of Nicaragua. So,
interesting. Ometepe is a little more mellow. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, all three of those regions, right, are less potent.
Yeah. But
Nicaragua.
that's some complex blending.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
So
awesome.
Oh.
Well, thank you for that. News of the week. What you got going on there?
Yeah.
Little wrapper flap.
Yeah, from that. Near the cap. Yeah, that's definitely, that's from the cap being folded over.
Yep.
So
interesting.
I beat you to it.
And my flap has not come up, so I can't even see it anymore. It just blended right in. Well, we're down to the last third. Final commentary on taste.
Yeah.
Mine tastes like mop solution.
Mop solution. No, definitely the cedar board is a lot stronger, more almondy tasting. A little bit of spice there at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the spice has picked up. And it definitely, I think, meaty is a good descriptor at this point. Like, we had that, there's something going on, in the second, third, and now it's like, there's a meaty component to it. Yeah. And it is stronger.
Yeah.
I think I would say it went from, like, medium to full. So I'd call it a mid-full cigar, but it changes strength.
Yeah.
And this is one of those, by the time you get to the end of it, it could be kicking your butt a little bit.
Yeah. It is right now to me, so.
Yeah.
Definitely not a beginner smoke.
Yeah, it's interesting. When it started out, I was kind of thinking, like, this is something you could share.
Yeah.
Start out, and now I'm like, nah, this could turn somebody green in the gills.
Yeah, somebody who's not experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely don't want to be chugging this one.
Not a breakfast cigar.
No.
Unless you're like us that can handle it, and I had a little bit of breakfast, so it's not terrible.
I had my usual 6 eggs, and
I like it. I like this. So.
Well, it is time to rank this Perdomo 30th Anniversary Sungrown Robusto 5x54. And these retail for $12 to $14 right now. I'm sure that'll go up on the secondary market soon.
Yep.
And so why don't we start with presentation?
The presentation, man, that band right off the bat, it just grabs your attention, and I loved it. Like that holographic when they, not every band gets the holo.
Right.
But that one definitely grabbed it. And it's a beautiful band. I know it definitely grabbed your attention, the gold.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it.
Yeah, so I've got a 7 on presentation. Box is good, but, it's just a Perdomo box.
Yeah.
And the band, what I really like about the band is actually the fact that you can take it off all at once.
Yep.
There's no glue overflow. It looks like a double band, but it's a single.
Yeah, and I agree. I would give it a 7 because all their banding and boxing looks the same. But again, that's probably part of that cost-cutting effort.
Well, and also for branding, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
And they use the colors, the blue and the red and the
whites sometimes.
Gold for Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a...
I love the blue on the 20th anniversary. That hollow blue.
Yeah,
oh, man.
yeah.
That definitely grabs your eye.
Yep. All right, and so how about price? Now, these are more than your typical Perdomo, but far less than a lot of special anniversary cigars. What are you thinking on price?
I want to give it an 8 because, it's a great cigar. It's Perdomo. You know what you're getting. So I think they've earned that right to bump up the price a little bit because you know what you're getting.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a 7 on price. I think it's a good price. I think at that price range, you have a lot of options, though.
Oh, yeah.
If I had $12 in my pocket, I might pick this up.
Yeah.
At $14, I'm looking around.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of options. I might not pick this one. All right, so construction now. My construction was really good. Mm-hmm. I had that one, just the flap from the cap. It came up a little bit. It hasn't flapped around. I haven't had to tongue it. It just kind of stuck back down. You can see the ash is great. The draw was great. Smoke output was great. Just a good, solid construction. Yours, you had a little more issues.
Yeah, I'm a little closer, too.
Yep, and your wrapper's starting to come apart.
Yeah.
I also noticed your cherry is not evenly burning. Might be a little user error on that, but a little construction in there, I think, from what I'm looking at.
Yeah. A little black charring, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I haven't relit it, so it's not like I torched it.
Yeah. So what are you thinking on construction?
I'm going to give it a 7.
7 on construction?
Yep.
Yeah, I had a 7 as well. I think it presents well. But a couple of issues. Have to take some points off. And also your initial light, part of that was related to so much air in the foot.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a lot of holes there.
Yeah, like I said, right off the bat, I showed you the foot. There was a lot of room in there.
You almost had to draw the flame in to ignite it. Now, mine, I didn't have quite as many pockets in the foot, but it still took a little extra effort.
Yeah.
As we could see on the video now. All right, and then how about flavor? So we mentioned, it's ending with a cedar, meaty, spicy component, but it started out with a lot of sugar and cinnamon and spice and almost cream, like almond butter.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on flavor?
I want to give it a 8. The first and second, third definitely had some sweeter stuff, some stuff people can handle. But now that you're getting towards the end, the nicotine picked up. It's a little bit more stronger cedared almond. Like you said, I think once a veteran smoker gets down to the end, you're like, oh, there it is. And as we discussed, at first I thought I could give it away, but now I can't.
Yeah. I agree. I've got an 8 for flavor as well. I think it's a great flavor for people that are experienced smokers. I really like the mix. Now it's not, but it's an 8. It doesn't blow me away.
Right.
It's not even special. Like I'm going to turn this into a special occasion cigar.
It's not
it definitely tastes and smokes like a Perdomo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then how about overall experience?
Overall, I'll give it an 8.
8 for experience from El Fumo, and I think 8 as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a good experience. I think for a veteran cigar smoker, this is one that you're going to want to pick up and give it a shot.
Yeah.
I think for use case, it's definitely like not something I want to do while I'm working outside, or it just got too strong for that.
Yeah, you'll fall over.
I would call this a lounge cigar.
Yep.
I'm not going to celebrate anything with it. It's not super special, but I'm also not going to be probably grilling or doing yard work or anything like that, walking the dog.
Yeah.
So I think a solid 8, and that brings the final score to 38.
All right.
So high 30s for this Perdomo 30th Anniversary Sungrown Robusto 5x54, and overall good solid smoke. I wish it was more widely available.
Yeah,
It doesn't come across as special enough to be limited edition.
Yeah, I don't know why they made it limited edition.
Well, I think probably they just ran out of tobacco. These are aged longer than most of your Perdomos, so they probably had their stash of tobacco to make these with.
Yep.
And they made them, and that's it.
Yep.
So, all right. I think that's all that we have for everybody this week. As usual, reach out to us, burnlinepodcast@gmail.com, or Instagram, Facebook, @burnlinepodcast. Let us know what you think and what you'd like more of on the show or less of, and we will get it taken care of. Thanks for joining us on Burnline Podcast. We will see you again next week.